Yet another deadline set by U.S. President Donald Trump has quietly expired, with no official response from Moscow, even as Russia escalates its military campaign against Ukraine. We'll also look into the diplomatic tensions, recent military actions, and what this all means for international stability. On July 14, 2025, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, announced a 50-day deadline for Russian President Vladimir Putin to engage in peace negotiations with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The goal was to bring the conflicting parties to the table and seek a diplomatic resolution to the ongoing crisis. However, that deadline, initially set for September 2nd, quietly expired yesterday with no official sign of a meeting between Putin and Zelensky. And remarkably, just 2 weeks after announcing it, Trump had already scaled back that deadline to 10 to 12 days on July 28th, only to let that slip by without any substantial diplomatic breakthrough. Meanwhile, on the ground, the conflict continues to escalate. Russian forces launched a massive barrage of over 500 drones and missiles targeting Ukraine's western regions. Ukrainian officials reported that this large-scale attack caused widespread power outages, particularly in the northern Chernihiv region, leaving some 30,000 civilians without electricity after drone strikes hit civilian infrastructure. Ukraine's Air Force confirmed the use of 502 drones and 24 missiles in this assault, with regional authorities reporting injuries among civilians and damage to residential homes and vital infrastructure. The attack underscores the ongoing intensity of the conflict, just as diplomatic efforts seem to stagnate. While Russia's military offensive intensifies, Vladimir Putin was in China attending the Victory Day parade alongside Chinese President Xi Jinping and North Korea's Kim Jong-un. The gathering was seen as a show of solidarity among Russia and its allies amid the ongoing conflict, but it appears that diplomatic negotiations remain elusive. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump, observing these developments from afar, expressed his disappointment in Vladimir Putin's failure to secure a peace deal in Ukraine. In a radio interview, Trump said, "I'm very disappointed in President Putin, I can say that," adding that despite their previously good relationship, Putin's recent actions have left him feeling betrayed. Since the Alaska summit, Trump has been deliberately vague about Ukraine negotiations, oscillating between threatening sanctions against Moscow and suggesting he might let Russia and Ukraine fight it out. His stance reflects the complex and often contradictory nature of international diplomacy surrounding this ongoing crisis. As the world watches these developments unfold, the question remains: what's next for Ukraine, Russia, and the fragile diplomatic efforts that seem to be stalling? With tensions simmering and military actions escalating, the global community faces uncertain times ahead. Be sure to subscribe to the Indian Express for more in-depth updates and expert analysis on these evolving international issues. Stay informed, stay ahead.